Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Omar. Today, if you notice, I am not on video, and there's a purpose for that. We're doing a special event with a radio kind of show. We never do that, and I thought for the 55th episode here, can you believe that? We've been doing this for 55 guests, all brand new people. And today it's a kind of an interesting special show. We're going to get to know a business or a company, and we have a wonderful guest here, Sanela O, who is from two continents, actually living in Chicago and also Mostar. And we're going to bring her here. But it's very rare that we meet the guests, and I happened to meet with them almost a year ago in Mostar. I just want to show you a quick picture here. I had a fun time meeting them, and wonderful people, and very rare, like I said, that we meet our guests that come on the show. And without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in the wonderful Sanela O, I believe in Chicago. Three, two, one. Welcome to the stage. Sanela, how are you?
Hey, Ali. I'm doing well, Omar. Thank you so much, everyone. It's so
Awesome,
nice
awesome.
to be with you this
Uh,
morning. It's 10 a.m. in Chicago, so bright and early.
Amazing, amazing to have you here. And we already have a guest in the audience, Carl. I was just in Colorado a couple of months ago. Good morning, Omar. Glad I just did my clocks today. Yes, a lot of people changed their clocks today, and Arizona does not change their clocks. And he was
Mhm.
able to make it on the show. All right, awesome. How are you doing today? I know you are in Chicago, like you said. You are also in Mostar, and you started this company called Helping Hearts of Bosnia. I just want to read a little bit on one of the websites
Sure.
here that I think it's from the Mostar website, right? That was done about a year ago. In fact, it was the date is showing November 9th, 2024. That's amazing, right? Coming up to that date. So you're a founder of a humanitarian group, Helping Hearts of Bosnia Herzegovina, born in Mostar and works in Chicago, and one of the most successful Mostar women in the world. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And we are now live on, it's supposed to be Instagram, YouTube, and also LinkedIn. So whoever's watching there.
Awesome.
All right, let's start with you. So how are you? How did you come up with that? Let's go back to the beginning of Helping Hearts of Bosnia. If you want to tell about a little bit about yourself, if you want. If not, we can start into that. So let's start there.
Thank you so much, Omar. So it's really nice to be here and share a little bit about, what we do and how it all started. It started a little over 10 years ago. Very little, very humbly, to be honest. In May of 2014, powerful winds and rain hit the southeastern and central Europe, and floods and landslides caused massive, massive destructions and damage in Bosnia. Um, at that time, everyone, as Bosnians, we're like, we want to do something. It was my home country, and I was like, what can I do? And I was very new to all of this. I was like, let me just start collecting some donations. And since I'm going to go to Bosnia anyway, I'm just going to visit those affected areas in Bosnia and just, bring the donation, meet with the people, and see what else I can do. And, the rest is history. That's literally how it happened. On my way back to Chicago, I was sitting in the plane and I was thinking, what can I do about this? Like, what else I can do? So I just came up with an Instagram page and Facebook, and I named it Helping Hearts of Bosnia, and I never changed the name. So it's still to this day, it's called Helping Hearts of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Amazing, amazing. So in 2015, almost 10
Yeah.
years ago, you wanted to help. You saw flooding there in your home
Mm-hmm.
country, and you're like, "Oh, I want to help this out. I want to do something." And then right there, we're in the beginning. Were there that many fundraising companies at the time? Did you have any competition? Maybe let's talk about that for a bit.
Uh, you know, not really. I'm the first one actually, like a first Bosnian nonprofit that I opened up in Chicago, like a charity organization. Not in Chicago, yes, in Bosnia. And that was my goal. Like quickly, very quickly, I realized if I want to do this, if I want to do it right, I need to network with people. So a huge organization, charity organization in Bosnia, it's called Pomozi.ba. They're still to this day doing amazing work globally. And I just went to their door and be like, hey, I'm Sanella, living here in Chicago, and I just opened up my own nonprofit. Let's do some work. And I really didn't see any one of them as my competition. It was just, let's do the work together, because together we are stronger and we can accomplish more. So it was never like I never saw them as competition, or I was never their competition. We ended up doing a lot together, even to this day.
That's amazing. So you mentioned that you went in and you were opening yourself to other people, to other companies,
Right.
work together. So that's all important, right? That's about collaboration. Let's talk about that a little bit. What's the importance of collaborating with other people and being together? That's something that, as a in religion or whatever you are in terms of that, that's important to collaborate with people and help humanitarian out, right? That's what are your thoughts on
Of
that?
course. Yeah. I mean, definitely. I knew that if I wanna to reach to more needy people, I had to collaborate with organizations that have been doing this for the last 10, 20, 15 years. So they have a lot more experience, but they also have the tools that I need in the beginning, and which I didn't have. But also they have the people that they're helping, because there's a lot of scammers too, and you have to be very careful. So being involved with all of these organizations, like let's say someone, comes up to me and emails me or sends me a message and say, hey, I'm in such and such situation. I need money. I need help. Your first instinct is, oh, you want to help.
Mhm.
But doing this, I've learned this is not actually how it's done. So I would call up all of these people that I know back home, and they already have a list of all of these people that are scammers, and they're just out there, not for the good reasons, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, even to this day, they call me, I call them up, and just to collaborate and do things together. It's very important to be involved in the community, and it's very important to network, because
Absolutely.
stronger we're always together.
Yeah, what are some challenges that first year? Now it's been, praise God, it's been over 10 years. What are some challenges in the first and second year? And then get into how they considered you a most successful woman in Mostar. It's a tiny town there in Bosnia. So let's get into that. How was in the beginning, the first year, some challenges you had? I know you talked to different companies, different
Hmm.
fundraising companies, maybe also in Chicago as well. What are some challenges the first, second year? Did you ever think about giving up also? We'll talk about that.
To be honest, no. And I don't, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of challenges, but growing up in the war,
Mhm.
you just learned how to overcome those challenges and survive. I never got to the point where I was like, I need, I don't want to do this. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work because I do have a full-time job on the side, and there's a lot of things that I do on the side, and then plus this, if you want to be successful. But one challenge probably would be like the finances. A lot of times that you want to do all of those projects and you just don't have the money, or you don't have enough money. But luckily, I really have, good amount of people that are with us from day one that keep donating and spreading the word about us, and that's very important. And I'm very lucky to be involved with amazing volunteers and amazing team and all the people that we collaborate with.
Amazing. So are you the only one who is involved? You're the main one. Maybe I think you and your husband are involved in this, or do you have other people who help you out? I guess they donate to you and then you distribute.
Right,
You have people
right.
in different countries who help you out, or it's just you and your husband.
I mean, I do have a lot of partners globally,
Hmm.
but behind the scenes, it's me. And
Yeah,
this is like my baby.
yeah,
During COVID, I did have a big team, but then with COVID, a lot of people moved away or got married, have kids. So everyone is busy with their own lives. And
yeah.
I feel like no one will really, um, you know, do as much or give so much time as much as I do with this. And so right now it's just me and myself. And yes, my husband is here too. His background is legal in law, so he helps me a lot with the legal side of my nonprofit, especially in Europe.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, because if you created something, you're passionate about it, you want to do it
Mm-hmm.
yourself. I can relate to that because of the other show I do, the quiz show, and also this.
Right.
If you have other people, they have a different mindset, and so you want to do that. But that's good for you that you're starting it, and then it's been on there 10 years. What are some stories you can tell us of donations or something that somebody like donated to you, or it came out to be a scam, or some good fortunate donation that somebody gave you that you can tell us and share with us? Maybe something that wow, I can't imagine that happened, either good or positive or negative that
Mm-hmm.
you can think of. Is there something? I'm sure in 10 years there was something like that.
Uh, I let's start with the negatives.
Okay.
Wallahi, like there's really nothing, and I'm always thankful to God that
Yeah.
all the people that I work with, collaborate with, all the partners, like I never ever had a one bad experience. And I know this is so hard to understand, or maybe like it's too good to be true.
Mhm.
Uh, but really, I'm blessed with everything on that aspect. But as far as donations, and I mean, you know, people are so giving, and especially during the month of Ramadan, we do so many projects. People just donate left and right, and a lot of times we're able to build homes and rebuild condos, build water wells in Africa and Asia, and I mean, you name it. But one project that really stands out for me every year is actually taking the kids in Palestine, Yemen, and Afghanistan, in Syria, taking them to a shopping spree to buy Eid outfits. That's one project that it's very close to my heart. Just seeing the smiles on their faces and the joy, despite all the challenges that they're going through.
That's always amazing. Yeah. So is that in Chicago where you do that to them, or is it all
No,
over?
no, this is in Syria, in Palestine, in Afghanistan, and Yemen.
So you have like donors who send it there. You're not physically there, right?
I'm not physically there one day, inshallah,
Mhm.
one day, but I do have partners, and that's why I say it's so important that I network with the right people. So they're amazing partners of mine that I collect the donations. I tell them the work that they need to do, and they get it done. They send me pictures, videos. Um, yeah, it's just it's incredible.
Got you, got you. Yeah, I'm looking at your Instagram here. People can also see you. It's gonna be actually the Instagram, which is Helping Hearts of. Let me make sure I have it right.
BIH,
Helping Hearts of BIH, which is Bosnia
correct.
Herzegovina. And I see Africa, so people can connect there. They can donate. Um, have you donate to basically? So people donate to you. You have different donors or different, I guess, connections that you connect with, and then they distribute. Let's say in Africa, stuff like that, right? You're in Africa. You're in Asia. What are some of
Mhm.
the other places that you're in? And are you all over the different
I
continents?
mean, we are during COVID. That was our most successful years was during COVID. Um, and we were able to send aid to 4 continents. That was the first time that we did that. And then
Four
ever since
continents.
we're doing
Oh
that,
wow. Okay.
four
Like what?
continents.
Africa,
So
Asia, Europe.
Asia, Africa, yes. Europe, North America, yes, yes.
Amazing, amazing. Let me get to Carl. So Carl, he's in funding, and also he's also about
Okay.
raising funds. So he's also good in it. So he's saying here, I advocate that any business seeking to raise funds may differentiate themselves from
Mm-hmm.
other raising funds by adopting a charity like Helping Hands and distributing a percentage of their revenue,
Mm-hmm.
not profits, and making themselves a stable source of donations over time. It's okay to brag about this action in public, staff,
Mm-hmm.
and customers. So awesome, awesome. Your thoughts on what he said there? You-
Great, great. So I do have a lot of donors who actually do this through work. The work match their donations. So something that's already set up, or some just have, a monthly donations via Zelle set up or PayPal or whatnot. So because, a lot of my friends, they say, oh my God, Sanel, I forgot to donate last year. Please remind me. Or, you know,
yeah.
and then I tell them, I'm busy too. So how about you set up a monthly, just a monthly donation.
Mhm.
It can be as small as $10, $20, but it does goes a long way.
Amazing, amazing, definitely awesome. All right, and I have to say that we'll be doing hopefully a game with Carl about crowdfunding, a Zoopardy game like a Jeopardy show that I
Mm-hmm.
do. So we'll be doing it with him soon. So just want to shout out
Amazing.
Carl.
Thank you, Carl, for the
He's-
comment.
I actually met with him, and then we did a live show taping back in August, I believe, in Colorado. So I flew there, and he was one of those wonderful
Awesome.
people who allowed me to do that with him. So
That's
awesome, awesome. We
amazing.
are about 13 minutes to go until here. So we are now with the founder of Helping Hearts of BIH, which is Bosnia. Wonderful country. I was there and I met these wonderful folks almost a year ago, over a year now. And anything else we can talk about? Let's see here. I'm looking also here. So we talked about Asia, Africa. You donate to these things. You're
Mm-hmm.
getting strong there. Do you have a base or a station, or it's mainly you guys work from home?
So we work from home. Yeah. So my base is home. So whatever I am, literally that's my home. That's
Yeah.
my office. Either I'm here or when I travel, I go to Europe, to Bosnia. But also I do want to mention that I do a lot of work in the US, specifically with the homeless population and the immigrants and refugees. So I have one homeless event coming up actually on the 23rd. Um, and during COVID, again, it was my busiest month. Um,
Oh
every
wow.
day, my husband and I, we would go out and buy groceries and distribute to refugees, but also we were holding homeless events every weekend. And we would have like 10, 15, 20, 30 people show up, just distribute donations to the homeless population here. We would go and visit 10 cities in Chicago. Unfortunately, there are too many.
That's sad that yeah, even in America,
Hmm.
that goes into politics stuff like that. But then the money, where is it distributed? There's a lot of homeless people here and everywhere. I mean, there's a
I
saying I
know.
was saying in our religion that if everybody gives the Islamic charity or the
Hmm.
they call it zakat, there won't be any poverty in the world, right? But do people do that, right? I mean, it's
Right.
only 2% of your wealth, but a lot of people don't do that, and that's important, right? And then another fear is giving the money. Is it for drugs use? Is it going to be used for
Hmm.
something else, right? So that's something that in need. But that's good for you that you're able to hold these events. So that's going to be close to, I guess, Thanksgiving around the 23rd, right?
Right.
You're doing that. So that's something that you're doing. Like you're going to people. Do you have a place they come in and then you distribute the food, or you go knock on doors in Chicago?
So, with this one, we're gonna collaborate with another couple organizations. We're gonna go and make some sandwiches, salads, pack up the lunch boxes,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna go out to the tent cities. So there's a lot of tent cities throughout the city, but also there's a lot of homeless in the downtown Chicago. So you
Yeah.
just go with, bags of lunch bags, and you just give it out to the people on the street or distribute at the tent cities.
Got it. Explain what tent cities are for those who don't know. Is that like, what is that?
So it's a pretty much like a little neighborhood with like 40, 50 tents where
Mm.
only homeless people live.
Seriously,
And
they have that in Chicago there? Wow. Okay.
mm-hmm,
Wow.
mm-hmm.
I wouldn't.
And we go to a really big one in Chicago. It's close to downtown Chicago.
Uh-huh.
And we get very close to these people. Like they're very happy to see us, and they're like part of our families.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah, and it's interesting that I learned when I started going to these tent cities that actually they have a spokesperson, they have a mayor of the tent cities.
Oh, really?
They're very organized.
And
Yeah.
how big are these? Like, are these like they have their own zip codes? Is it like a big, like you have to drive from one tent to another? You can, I'm
No,
assuming,
they're
right?
no, like the tent cities, like with the 40, 50 tents, they're all like in
Yeah.
one circle. They're all there. Like you don't
Oh,
have to drive to each tent. Like
oh,
it's
okay.
literally like steps away.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
yeah, it's amazing to learn how organized they are. But also, I do want to mention that
Mhm.
they're not lazy. There's a lot of homeless people that actually hold jobs, but they cannot afford an apartment,
Mm.
and everything is so expensive. Like in order to have an apartment, like a studio or one bed in Chicago, you have to make at least like 24, $25 an hour. And a lot of them make that, way less than that. So they have to live in the tents.
Oh, well, yeah. No, so that's another misconception that a lot of people have about homeless
Mm-hmm.
people, that a lot of people say, oh, they're going to use it for drugs, which they took a survey, which I don't remember what the survey was from, but I think it was a NPR or some good survey from a reliable source.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying that a lot of the people who are homeless had some issues that happened, like 89% of them or something like that. And so a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to give him the $100. He's going to end up that. But no, no. I mean, a lot of
No.
them, like you're saying, the cost of living is high. They lost their job. It's been something they couldn't do. They lost maybe a member in the family who was not able
Mm-hmm.
to make a payment. So
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely amazing there.
It's really, really challenging. And like you said, many of them had their own businesses. Like we meet homeless people that had a business and the business goes down or something happens with the partner and they just lose everything. And then they end up on the street. And then one situation that one homeless guy told me, he's like, I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. There was a shooting. I happened to be there. The police came. They got me, put me in jail. I was in jail for so and so many years, and now I'm out. And this was all during COVID. And he's like, now I want to go to a trucking school. Like I want to learn how to drive a truck. I want to have a job. I want to have my own place, but everything takes time and a lot of money too. So it's really sad when you listen to these people. And this can happen to any one of us. Any
Exactly.
one of us.
Exactly. That's the thing. So you gotta be humble, be where you're at, and be able to
Right.
what you can, because yeah, anybody can be in the same situation and instantly, right? You can lose your job, and you can do that definitely. So how can people, if they want to reach you? I mean, I'll put the stuff in here. It's at the bottom there. It'll scroll down. But helping hearts of BIH at Gmail, and then you guys have a Venmo, and then also on Instagram. It's we talked about that earlier, but the Instagram is the same thing
Mm-hmm.
without the at Gmail part. They have over 2,400 followers on there, and they've been doing this work for over 10 years here. We're almost wrapping up here. What are some closing thoughts that you want to let people know? You always accept donations. I see here Bosnia, US, Middle East, Asia, and Africa. I guess before that, let's talk about what are any future goals that you guys have before we close here. I know you're serving how many countries here? One, two. I mean,
many
continents,
countries.
countries. It could be Middle East is big, we've got that. But
Yeah.
any future goals that you guys have?
We do. We do have a lot of goals for the next few years, and one of my goals is to go to those war-torn countries
Mhm.
and help to rebuild. And I already have a team of people that are actually very interested to go because, again, growing up during the war,
Mhm.
I learned very early what it means to lose everything and how fragile life can be. Um, it taught me a lot of compassion and the importance of taking care of one another because, Omar, tomorrow is not never promised. It's not promised to us. So we just have to be thankful to God that we woke up this morning and if we have the money, there's a reason why. Like we got to do something good with that money. We
Absolutely,
can't
yeah.
be
I mean, and then
selfish.
giving somebody a donation in person or giving them food is worth
Mm-hmm.
more than giving them money and stuff like that.
Right.
That's how I feel. So you're giving them bread or cooking for them. They remember you more for that after 5 years. And I remember even myself, something that happened to me 30 years ago. Somebody giving you
Mm-hmm.
something amazing, and then you give to. They remember you. They remember you on that. They're like, oh, that's wow. So you gave me this thing at this time 10 years ago, and so whoever it is, I mean, it doesn't have to be a homeless person. It could be just the idea of touching a human person and being humanitarian and checking on them and bringing them together. So that's amazing work that you're
Yeah.
doing. Going overseas or going to the war-torn countries, and you lived through that, so you know how it is, and helping them out.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a big challenge here. And yeah, appreciate you being here. Any closing thoughts for our audience here? We are with Helping Hearts of Bosnia. Senela O is the founder here. Started about 10 years ago. She's on Instagram. There's their email. You can send them money. They send. I know these people. I've been with them. I've seen them. We had tea together,
Yes.
chai, and so they're
Mm-hmm.
very honest people. And if you want to donate to them, we met through a mutual friend. And so when you know the people and you know who they are, sometimes you donate to peace. You're not sure where the money goes to, but definitely, uh, Sanela does good work. And your thoughts on that as we end? We have a couple
Yeah.
more minutes here.
Thank you so much. So, this everything that we do here and is not about me and like you said, you got to know us a year ago, and I really don't like to put myself as the center of attention. Um, and like we've been trying to have this conversation for the last year.
Yeah.
It's about us, it's about community, it's about remembering where we all came from. And I'm very honored to be here speaking with you today. Thank you for giving me the space to share what the Helping Arts of Bosnia is all about, what we do. And I do want to mention that there's a lot out there. So if you want to donate, just make sure you're very careful, make sure you do your research, because the easiest is to send money, but make sure you know who you're sending the money to. And don't respond to those Instagram messages of strangers asking for money, no matter how much you want to do that. But always go through trusted sources.
I mean, yeah, I was guilty of that before, but then I made to make sure the person is the real person and not just
Mm-hmm.
because we were raised. Everybody was raised. Most people are raised to help out. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
view. But yeah, you're right. Be careful who you donate for, and just help the humanity. I appreciate you being on the program on
Thank you.
this Sunday morning for the 55th episode. It's kind of a different style. And we'll be back actually in about 30 minutes from now for another episode
Awesome.
of a teen podcaster. He's been on my Zoom party and other things, and he has his own show as well. So, Nana, it was been a pleasure being on the program. Stick around for
Thank
a
you,
few
Omar.
seconds. I'm going to go off here a little bit and do the outro. Any last minute thoughts? Here's the question I always ask everybody.
Sure.
If you could create an invention or an idea, I've had 54 people before you answer a question, and I
Oh
might
my.
do a little reel about those. What would you do to help humanity? If there is some invention that's not been created, or maybe created but modify it, what would you do?
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, there's so much. Probably like take all the guns away
Guns, yeah,
somehow,
yeah.
drugs and guns.
Somebody said, "How about guns that shoot like bubbles or something, or shoot some kind of smell?" Like so somebody said, it very much like a cartoon, like you shoot and then a flower comes out or something. That would be anything. But get rid of all the weapons. Yeah, so weapons are made for they're to use. The people who use them don't really care. So, but that's another.
Yeah,
So anyway,
very good episode.
yeah, give me your. So that's it. Getting rid of the weapons. All right.
And maybe like a plane, that I can be here and then I can be in Mostar in like 5 minutes.
Oh, a quicker transportation. Yeah, yeah. I think that. So imagine 100 years ago, people never thought about flying even before that, right? 1885. Let's say that's the year.
That
Nobody
would
ever
be amazing.
expected that we would be flying and all these things. So it's a
Exactly.
possibility.
It
Whoever's
is.
hearing this, that's great. Let's make it. And then if you want to name it, let's name it after Sanella. So if you invent an invention,
Sounds
let's
very
go to
good.
Sanella. That's what oh, that would be a good idea. All right,
Sanella
we
plane.
are over the 30-minute mark here. Stick around for a second there as I go off. Guys, join us again in about 30 minutes for another live show, episode 56, and then we'll be back after that. We'll talk about who else. We have another special guest, actually, this Wednesday. Jose, he's been on all these shows, CNN and other things, and we're going to talk to him about different things that he's doing. So stay tuned for that on Wednesday. Let's stick around for a second. Thank you, guys. Stick around. See you in about 30 minutes with a live show. I'm going to go ahead and get ready, get dressed. Maybe put some makeup, but no, I won't. We'll see what happens. See you guys in about 30 minutes. Bye.